I have endeavored, in this ghostly little story, to raise the ghost of an idea, which shall not put you out of humour with yourselves, with each other, with the season, or with me. May it haunt your houses pleasantly, and no one wish to exorcise it. Your faithful friend and servant, Charles Dickens, December 1843.
Good Christian men rejoice.
Good Christian men rejoice.
Good Christian men rejoice.
With heart and soul.
With heart and soul and voice. With heart and soul and voice. Give ye heed to what we say. Jesus Christ is born today. Ox and ass before him bow, and he is in the manger now. Christ is born today. Christ is born today.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Saviour was born on Christmas Day.
Marley was dead, to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Mind, I don't mean to say that I know of my own knowledge what there is particularly dead about a doornail. I might have been inclined myself to regard a coffin nail as the deadest piece of ironmongery in the trade. You will therefore permit me to repeat emphatically that Marley was dead, as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead? Of course he did. How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assign, his sole residuary legatee, his sole friend and sole mourner. And even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event, but that he was an excellent man of business, even on the very day of the funeral. The mention of Marley's funeral brings me back to the point I started from. There is no doubt that Marley was dead. This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I'm going to relate. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name. There it stood, years afterward, above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. The firm was known as Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people new to the business called Scrooge, and sometimes Marley. Well, he answered to both. It was all the same to him. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand to the grindstone Scrooge. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Hard and sharp as flint. Secret and self-contained, solitary as an oyster. He carried his own low temperature always about with him. He iced his office in the dog days and didn't thaw it 1 degree at Christmas. The heaviest rain and snow and hail and sleet could boast of the advantage over him in only one respect. They often came down handsomely, and Scrooge never did. But what did Scrooge care? It was the very thing he liked, to edge his way along the crowded paths of life, warning all human sympathy to keep its distance. Well, once upon a time, of all the good days of the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. 'Twas cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy withal. The city clocks were nearly 3, but it was quite dark already. Scrooge kept a wary eye upon his clerk, Bob Cratchit.
Well, Cratchit?
Beg pardon, sir. I was wondering if I might have another lump of coal for the grate. It's getting a bit chilly where I'm at.
A lump of coal, is it? Certainly not. I don't have money to burn, Cratchit. And if you think your working conditions are unsatisfactory, if it's a bit chilly for your delicate fingers, then I suggest you find yourself a warmer place of employment.
Yes, sir, Mr. Scrooge.
And see that you waste no more time for which I am paying.
No, sir, Mr. Scrooge.
It has often been said that a writer writes what he knows. I know Scrooge's nephew Fred is the role I wrote for. Me. You'll kindly therefore excuse me. Merry Christmas to you, sir!
Merry Christmas, sir!
And to you, Uncle, a Merry Christmas, God save you!
Ah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle. Oh, you don't mean that, I'm sure.
Oh, I most certainly do. Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What right have you to be dismal, What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
Humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
Well, what else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Talking about Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas, what is Christmas time? But a time for paying bills without money. A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. A time for balancing your books and finding every item in them through a round dozen of months presented dead against you. No, nephew, if I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with a Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding.
Oh.
And buried with a stake of holly to his heart. He should.
Uncle!
Nephew, you keep Christmas in your way, and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it. But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good has it done you. Much good may it ever do you.
Well, there are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. But I'm sure I've always thought of Christmas time, when it has come round, as a good time. A kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time in the long calendar of the year when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and think of others as fellow passengers to the grave, and not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. Therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good, and I say God bless it!
Hear, hear!
Oh, thank you.
Let me hear another sound from you, sir. And you shall keep your Christmas by losing your situation. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come dine with us tomorrow.
You asking people to dine? I dare say you and that foolish wife of yours hardly have enough yourselves.
We have, and enough for you too.
Why did you get married?
Why? Because I fell in love.
Because I fell in love. That is the single thing more nauseating than a Merry Christmas. Good afternoon.
But Uncle, you never came to see me before I got married. Well, why give it as a reason for not coming now? I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Well, why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrel to which I have been a party. But I have made this call in homage to Christmas, and I shall keep my Christmas humor to the last. And so, a Merry Christmas to you, Uncle, and a Happy New Year!
Good
Merry Christmas, Mr. Cratchit!
Merry Christmas!
Good afternoon. There's another fellow for you, my clerk, Bob Cratchit. 15 shillings a week, a wife and family talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe.
Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley is dead. He died 7 years ago this very night.
We've no doubt his liberality is well represented in his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision. for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law, still in full vigor then?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, well, good. I was afraid from what you had said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
Under the impression that they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitude, a few of us are endeavouring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time above all others because it is a time when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to remain anonymous.
I wish to be left alone, gentlemen. Since you ask me what I wish, that is my answer. I do not make merry myself at Christmas time, nor can I afford to make idle people merry. I support the establishments I mentioned. With my tax payments, they cost enough. Those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
Well then, if they would rather die, then they had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
But, sir, their welfare
Is not my business. It is enough for a man to understand his own business without interfering in other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Got them accounts finished yet, Cratchit?
No, sir, not yet.
Well, hurry, man, hurry. The afternoon is waning fast, and time is precious to me.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, there's nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Saviour was born on Christmas Day.
Little beggars! Impressive. You've wasted enough time anticipating it, Cratchit. Close up. Close up!
Yes, sir, Mr. Scrooge, just as you say, sir.
You'll be wanting the whole day tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient. It's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a full day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
Poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. Still, I suppose you must have the whole day. See that you're here all the earlier of next morning.
Indeed, sir. Just as you say, sir, and a merry good afternoon, sir.
Humbug! Humbug!
Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
And a Merry Christmas to you, sir, nevertheless!
Till the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la.
Melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and after entertaining himself with his bank for the rest of the evening, went home to bed. He lived in a gloomy, lonely suite of rooms, dark and remote, at the end of a dark, remote courtyard. The courtyard this night was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, had to grope his way. Fog and frost hung thick upon the black old gateway of the house. Now it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on Scrooge's door, except that it was brass and very large. Scrooge had seen it every night and morning since he'd lived there. Let it also be borne in mind that Scrooge had not bestowed one thought on Marley since his last mention of his 7 years dead partner that afternoon. Now then, let any man explain to me, if he can, how it happened that this night Scrooge saw not the brass knocker, but Jacob Marley's face.
What's that? Gone. But I saw it. Jacob Marley's face. No, humbug. No. Vanished. Humbug, I didn't see anything at all. Nothing. Nothing but a bit of frost in my overactive imagination. Nothing but a lot of folderol and fiddle-dee-dee. I won't believe it. Yes! Oh, it's my head cold. And a lot of balderdash and poppycock. It's humbug! It's humbug! What is that? Oh, it's humbug still! I won't believe it! Who's there?
Ebenezer Scrooge!
Come out then! But be warned, be warned! How now? What do you want from me?
Much, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Who are you?
Asked me who I was.
Well, who were you then? You're awfully particular for a ghost or whatever you are.
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Jacob Marley? No, I don't think so. Can you sit down?
I can.
Well, do it then.
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
What evidence of my reality would you have beyond that of your senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You might be a bit of undigested beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. That's it. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. You see this toothpick?
I do.
But you're not looking at it.
But I see it, notwithstanding.
Well, I have but to swallow a bit of this, and for the rest of my days be persecuted by a legion of goblins, all of my own creation. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Don't do that!
Do you believe in me, or not?
Oh, I do! Oh, I must. But why do spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that his spirit should walk among his fellow men and travel far and wide. If he chooses not to do so in life, he must do so after death. He is doomed to wander the world and witness what he cannot share in life, but might have shared and turned to happiness.
You are fettered, spirit, Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it. Link by link and yard by yard. I did it of my own free will. And of my own free will I wear it. Is its pattern strange to you? Pledges, deeds, cash boxes, mortgages. Oh, would you know the length and weight of the chain you wear yourself? It was full and heavy and long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since.
7?
It is a ponderous chain you bear.
7? My old friend, Jacob Marley. Tell me more, Jacob, please. Speak some comfort to me.
I have none to give. Comfort comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge. It is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I say all that I wish, for a very little time is permitted me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my spirit never walked beyond the confines of a money-changing hole. And now, weary journeys lie before me.
Well, you must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
Slow?
There's 7 years dead and traveling all the time.
The whole time! No rest, no peace, only incessant torture of remorse. In this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Oh, blind, blind man, why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raise them to that blessed star that led wise men to a poor abode? Oh, were there no poor roads to which its light would lead me?
You were always a good man. Of business, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business! Charity, mercy, and benevolence were all my business! The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business! In life, I failed my business. I drove it to bankruptcy!
No, Jacob, please!
Hear me, for my time is nearly gone.
I will, Jacob, I will. Only, don't be so hard upon me, Jacob.
How it is that I appear to you in a shape that you can see, I cannot tell. I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer Scrooge.
Well, you were always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thank you.
You shall be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first ghost tomorrow night when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour.
But I am an old man, Jacob!
Expect the third on the next night as the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, Ebenezer Scrooge. Look, that for your own sake, you remember what has passed between us.
I'll remember, Jacob, I promise. I'll remember. Jacob! 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 Oh, no. He was here, I saw him. No. No, he was never here. Nothing but a lot of falderall and fiddle-dee-dee. Nothing but a lot of balderdash and then humbug. I didn't say hum. No, I won't say hum. No, no, I won't say that. One o'clock. Oh, that clock is wrong. An icicle must have gotten into the clockworks. It isn't possible I've slept through a whole day and far into another night. And it can't be this dark at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. No, not again. Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Well, who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
Oh, well, might I inquire what it is you wish of me?
Why, only your welfare.
My welfare? Well, don't you think that a good night's sleep unhaunted by ghosts would serve my welfare better?
Your reclamation, then. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
But I am mortal and I'm liable to fall.
Bear but the touch of my hand.
Oh.
There. You shall be upheld in more than this.
Spirit, I know this place. I was a boy here. I was in boarding school here.
You recollect the way.
Remember it? Why, I could walk it blindfold.
Strange to have forgotten. For so many years. The school not quite deserted. A solitary boy neglected by his father is left there, still.
To be free! An entire fortnight of old Professor Pecksniff's lectures and rampages!
Oh, sir, but he is so upright!
As a tree!
Dear Martin Chuzzlewit! And Thomas Finch, hurry, the coach is waiting. Oh, there you are, Evan. A happy, happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Ebenezer.
Hello, Martin. I'm Finch. Hello, and happy Christmas, dear old Ali Baba.
Poor boy. Poor lonely boy. That was me. I was that boy.
Your lip is trembling.
No, it isn't.
And what is that upon your cheek?
A pimple.
What is the matter?
There were 2 young children singing a carol at my counting house last night. I should like to have given them something, that's all.
Let us see another Christmas. Do you remember your sister, Little Fan? Evan!
Oh, Ebenezer! Come quickly! I've come to bring you home.
Fan? Little Fan, what are you doing here at school? What did you say about home?
Oh, yes, Evan. Him for Gundle. Him forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. That home is like heaven. He spoke to me so gently one dear night when I was going to bed that I was not afraid to ask him once more if he might come home. And he said, yes, you should. And he sent me in a coach to bring you. And you'd be a man and never have to come back here again.
Home for Christmas? But I thought Father had forgotten me here at school. I thought everyone had forgotten.
No, Evan, he hasn't forgotten. Oh, Evan, it'll be so wonderful having you home from school. We'll be together all the Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
So we shall, Fan, so we shall. You are quite the woman, Little Fan.
Merry Christmas, Ebenezer.
Merry Christmas, dear, dear Little Fan.
Wait!
Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered. But she had a large heart.
So she had, Spirit. So she had.
She died, a woman, and had, as I think, children.
Yes, one child.
True, Your nephew, Fred.
Yes, Fred.
Let us see another Christmas. There was a certain warehouse owned by a certain old gentleman.
Why, it's Mr. Fezziwig! Oh, dear old Mr. Fezziwig! I was apprenticed to him, I was.
Oh, yo ho, my boys, there's no more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas Ebenezer!
Dick Wilkins, bless his heart! He was very much attached to me. Oh, we were great friends indeed, we were.
Now hurry, my boys, the guests are arriving. There you are, my dear. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my darling Mr. Fezziwig!
Mwah, mwah. Welcome, my friends, and Merry Christmas. And now, my friends, at the urging of their adoring mother, the dearest delight to the father's hearts, Letitia and Belle will begin our merriment in earnest.
Bring a torch, Jeanette, Isabella. Bring a torch to the cradle run. It is Jesus, good folk of the village. Christ is born, and Mary's calling. Ah, ah, beautiful is the mother of. Ah, beautiful is her son. Hasten now, good folk of the village, hasten now, the Christ child to see. You will find him asleep in the manger. Quietly come and whisper softly, hush, hush. See how the child is sleeping, hush, hush. Peacefully now he sleeps. Softly to the little stable, softly in a lonely town. Look and see how charming is Jesus, how he is white as cheeks are rosy. Hush, hush, see how the child is sleeping. Hush, hush, hush. He smiles in his dreams. Stop.
Brilliant, Mike, is absolutely marvelous.
My dear, you positively twinkled. And now it is time and high time for refreshments and the opening of presents. Mr. Wilkins, will you lead the way?
This way, everyone, to the mince pies and punch.
Spirit, I'm going for mince pies and punch. I'll be right back.
Come along, Belle, don't delay.
Oh, well, you go in. I'll be along presently.
But why?
Oh.
Oh, Belle!
Belle, I know. Belle, wait a moment. I want to talk to you.
Oh, Ebenezer!
Merry Christmas, Belle.
Merry Christmas! My, what a lovely party! Dear old Papa Fezziwig.
Yes, Belle, when shall I see you again?
I don't know. After church?
Oh, I'll walk you there.
To church? Oh no! I'm going with Mama and Papa. It wouldn't be proper.
It wouldn't be proper. It wouldn't be proper.
But when shall I see you then?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come around in the afternoon.
What time then?
At 2.
Very well. Do come along, Evan. We'll miss the presents.
Oh, no! I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm sorry. No!
Scoundrel!
No!
I'm humiliated all my life!
Oh, no, my life! What's this then, you pirate?
Oh, caught you spying, did I? I'll show
Oh,
you.
look, Mr. Fezziwig.
Oh, Mr. Fezziwig, we were just...
Yes, right here.
Oh, you?
Come on then, Evan. It'll be quicker than that.
Almost got you.
rusty old chap.
Oh, have at you then. Oh, got you now.
Happy Christmas, Ebenezer.
Oh, that's right. Happy Christmas, Dick. Oh, be careful. That's my favorite jacket.
Did your mummy make it for you?
Yes. No. Oh.
big boys kiss girls and little boys kiss their mummies.
And blighters kiss the floor! Gotcha! I say, Richard, are you all right?
Oh, kiss me, Ebenezer!
Come on, you!
When did all this get thickened up, then?
Oh, she's a ruby, Dick. A ruby.
Do you remember that Christmas? Ebenezer Scrooge.
Just as it was, Spirit. Just as it was, everything. Why, I remember good old Mr. Fezziwig would... But they're gone, Spirit. Faded like a shadow.
Return to the past, their proper place. A small matter to make these silly folk so full of gratitude.
Small, Spirit?
Why, is it not? Old Fezziwig spent but a few pounds of your mortal money. 3 or 4, perhaps. Is that so much?
Spirit, you don't understand. It wasn't the amount of money that he spent. It was the happiness that he gave to us. Why, it's quite as great as if it had cost a fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing.
Something, I think.
I should just like to say a word to my clockwork Cratchit just now, that's all.
My time grows short. Quickly, we must see yet one more Christmas of the past.
Why, it's Belle. Dear, lovely Belle. We were betrothed so long ago. Oh, Spirit! Not this night! Not this night, I beg you!
Alas, my love, you do me wrong to cast me off discourteously, and I have loved you so long, delighting in your company. Green sleeves was all my joy. Green sleeves was my delight. Green sleeves was my heart of gold. And who but my darling? Green sleeves. Ebenezer.
Yes.
Eben, my dear.
Well, what is it then?
It matters little to you. Very little. Another idol has displaced me.
What idol?
Golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world.
You fear the world too much. I've watched all of your nobler aspirations fall off one by one, until your master passion, gain, engrosses you, have I not?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I've not changed towards you, have I?
Our contract is an old one, made when we were poor and content to be so. We promised to share whatever life brought us together, to work together. But now you are another man. You shut me out and you keep me at a distance.
I was a boy. I have grown up and you must too.
So you admit you are changed. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. I can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words, no, never.
In what then?
Changed nature, in an altered spirit, and anything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. Tell me, if this had never been between us, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
Yes.
No,
Think not.
I know not. If you were free from our contract, can I believe you would bind yourself to a dowerless girl? You who weigh everything by gain. No.
And I do release you, with a full heart for the love of him you once were. You may upon reflection find pain in this memory, but you will soon dismiss its recollection as an unprofitable dream from which you gladly awoke. Goodbye, Ebenezer. May you be happy in the life you've chosen.
Wait! Come back! Come back! You fool! Spirit! Spirit, no more! Why did you like to torture me? Conduct me home!
I told you, these are the shadows of things that have been. They are what they are. Do not blame me.
Spirit, no more! No more, Spirit! No more! $1 o'clock? Oh, no, not again. This strange light. It cannot be of this world. Spirit, are you there?
Yes, Ebenezer Scrooge! I am the ghost of Christmas present!
Of course you are.
Look upon me! You have never seen the likes of me before?
Oh, never.
Have never walked forth with the younger members of my family?
Oh, I don't think so, Spirit. Have you many brothers?
More than 1,800!
Tremendous family to provide for.
Yes! Well, since you have known my brothers but little, approach. Know me better. Know my time and my age, my sights and sounds.
Spirit, last night I went forth upon compulsion, and I learned a lesson which is working now. If you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Oh.
Well, go on, touch it.
Brown young virgin
What is the matter, Ebenezer Scrooge?
Nothing. Just considering all I have just seen.
I gather you're considering your clerk, Bob Cratchit, with 15 shillings a week, a wife and family, and still giving. Giving that man a farthing on Christmas Eve.
Well, everyone seemed so kind and generous, Spirit.
Oh, indeed, this is Christmas, the happiest time of all the year. Is that so strange to you?
I'm ashamed to say that it is, Spirit, for it has been for many and many a year.
Come then, this is the present. Christmas now. Christmas present? Look, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Whose home is this, Spirit? Where are we?
Why, it's the home of your clerk, Bob Cratchit.
I see, Spirit.
You see what, Ebenezer Scrooge?
Oh, that it is so poor and in need of repair.
Whatever has gotten your precious father then? And your brother Tiny Tim and Martha? She was not asleep last Christmas by half an hour. Here's Mother! Oh, she is. Oh, bless my heart alive, my dear, how late you are.
We had a great deal of work to finish up last night and had to clear away this morning, Mother.
Never mind, so long as you've come. Sit by the hearth, have a warm.
Oh, Martha! There's such a goose!
Oh, is there now?
No. His father coming.
Hide! Yes.
Hello, my dear. Oh. Why, where's our Martha?
Oh, she's not coming.
Not coming on Christmas Day?
Oh, Father, I so hate to see you disappointed.
My dear Martha! How could you ever disappoint me?
Come into the kitchen. I want to show you the goose.
Pudding's singing with Papa! Oh, yes. Let's go see. Pudding's been steaming all day, Tim.
Here we are, all together on Christmas Day, as a family should be.
Well, how did Tim behave in church?
As good as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much, and thinks the strangest things you've ever heard. He told me coming home he hoped that people saw him in church, because he was a cripple. And it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Oh, my little dear.
I do believe you are growing more and more strong and hearty.
Oh, Father. Such a goose. And such a pudding. The goose is as big as me, it is.
Oh, Tim, I'm sure it is indeed.
Spirit, the little boy with the crutch, will he live?
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Oh, no, Spirit. Say the child will live.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none of my race will find him here. What then? If he be like to die, he had better do it, and decrease the surplus population. Oh, man! If man you be, will you decide what men shall live and what men shall die? It may be in the sight of heaven that you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child.
Well now, time for our Cratchit specialty.
Yes.
Christmas punch. Oh, pity.
What?
Pity the Lord Mayor couldn't be with us tonight.
Eat out, Belinda! Christmas punch!
Oh, I can catch you. Yes, I can. But oh, there's too many of you. A toast? A toast! Mr. Scrooge, I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
Well, hear, hear!
The founder of the feast, indeed. Well, I wish I had him here. I would give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he would have a good appetite for it.
Hear, hear!
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
Oh, it should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, when we drink the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. No, you don't. No one knows it better than you. Poor fellow!
My dear.
Oh, very well. I will drink his health for your sake and the day's, not his.
Gotcha! What are you talking about? Shh! You be quiet.
Long life to him, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
Merry Christmas to Mr. Scrooge.
Merry Christmas to Mr. Scrooge.
They don't like you at all.
Oh, that's bye, my dears. A Merry Christmas. And God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
Yes.
Indeed it was a great surprise to Scrooge, while pondering the plight of Tiny Tim, and remembering how Bob Cratchit had held his withered little hand as if he loved the child, and wished to keep him by his side, and dreaded that he might be taken from him. It was a great surprise to Scrooge, while thus engaged, to hear a hearty laugh. It was a much greater surprise to Scrooge to recognize it as his own nephew's, and to find himself in a bright and gleaming room with the spirit standing smiling by his side, and looking at that same nephew with approving affability.
I like him. I find him charming.
I'm not related to him.
Oh, sail, a little town, a toasty tis white and a really tis brown, a really tis made of the white maple tree, with a wassailing bird will tree to thee. Oh, sail,
And here is to Dobbin and to his right eye, pray God send our master a good Christmas pie, a good Christmas pie that may we all see, with a wassailing bird will dream to thee. Wassail, wassail, wassail. Then here's to the maid in the lily white smock, who'll trip to the door and slip back the lock, who'll trip to the door and pull back the pin, for to let these jolly wassailers in. Wassail, 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 wassail. And butler, come fill us a bell of the best, then I pray that your soul in heaven may rest. But if you do bring us a bird of the soul, if it ever take part and blow and blow, wassail, 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 wassail,
Yes. No, Fred, will your uncle be joining us this evening?
His uncle? No, he said Christmas was a humbug. As I live, he did, and he believes it too.
more shame for him, Fred.
Oh, bless the women, for they never do anything by halves. They are always in earnest.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth, and not as pleasant as he might be.
Indeed, he's not.
However, his offences carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
Oh, I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
And what of that, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He does no good with it. Oh, and it does him no good.
Well, I have no patience with him at all. Oh, neither have I, from what you tell me of him, really.
But I have. I am sorry for him.
What's that? Sorry for me?
I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself. Always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us. Won't come and dine with us. Well, what's the consequence? he doesn't lose much of a dinner.
Oh, for shame!
Oh, come, Fred! Oh, very well, I stand corrected. I was only going to say he loses a very good dinner and some pleasant moments which would do him no harm.
You're forgiven.
He may rail at Christmas until he dies, but I defy him.
Defy him?
Every year I go there in good spirits and say, Uncle Scrooge, how are you?
Bah, humbug!
Happy Christmas. Well, if it only persuades him to leave his poor clerk £50, that's something.
I believe I shook him yesterday.
Well, something or someone should. Now, enough of unpleasantness. Let us have games.
Yes!
Fred, you start us off.
Oh, very well, my dear. How about,
Yes and no!
yes and no?
Yes and no, Fred!
Come, everyone, have a seat. Fred, you go first.
Oh, very well.
Everyone have a seat. Is everyone ready? Everyone ready? Good help. Fred, we're all set.
Go.
An animal.
Yes.
A savage animal.
Yes.
Oh, an animal that lives in London.
And walks about the streets freely.
Yes.
And does not live in a menagerie.
Yes.
Oh, and it is not a horse or a mule
No.
or a
No.
cow or a bull
No.
or a tiger or a dog or a pig or a cat.
A bear. Oh, I got one.
No.
Come now, Fred. I have figured it out. I know what it is.
Do ask it, Tubber. Hurry, we shall all die of suspense.
It's your Uncle Scrooge.
Yes! What?
Yes! Ha! The devil take all! Well, in spite of himself, he has given us plenty of merriment. And it would be ungrateful of us not to toast his health, eh? Here is a glass of the spirit of the occasion. I give you Uncle Scrooge a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever he is. He wouldn't take it from me. But may he have it. Nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
My time grows short, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Are spirits' lives so very short then?
My life upon this globe is brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight, spirit?
Tonight at midnight. Hark, the time draws near.
1/4 past. No. 3/4 past. Past 11, spirit.
Yes, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Spirit, forgive me if I'm not justified in what I ask, but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself. Is it a foot or a claw?
It might well be a claw, for all the flesh there is upon it. Look here!
Ah!
Look, lest ye ever forget.
Are they your spirit?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. The boy is ignorance, and the girl is want. Beware them both, Ebenezer Scrooge, and all their degree, but most of all, beware the boy. For on his brow I see doom written, unless the writing be erased.
Spirit, I assure you the things you have shown me, the lessons you have taught me, they shall not be forgotten.
It were well for you, Ebenezer Scrooge, that they be not forgotten. Mark well the scar of ignorance, which breeds such want. The woes that man might change, but does not, and so must bide their ends.
But Spirit, have they no refuge, no resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Those who are badly off must go there, and those who would rather die, they had better do it, decrease the surplus population!
No, Spirit! Spirit! not understand. I promise, Spirit. I will not forget. Oh, Spirit, I promise. I will remember the lessons you have taught me. Please, Spirit. Please, Spirit. Mercy.
But you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
These are the shadows of things that have been. They are what they are. Do not blame me.
You shall be haunted by 3 spirits.
10, 11, 12. Am I in the presence of the spirit of Christmas yet to come? Oh, you are about to show me shadows of things that have not yet happened, but that will happen. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any spectre I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, I am prepared to bear your company. Will you not speak to me? Very well. Lead on, Spirit, lead on. The night is waning fast and time is precious to me.
Hello! Hello! What do you think?
He's dead.
I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
I thought he'd never die. What was the matter with him?
Heaven knows.
Or the devil, perhaps? What has he done with his money?
I left it to his company, I suppose. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know.
Well, it's likely to be a cheap funeral, for upon my life I don't know of anyone to go to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer. I don't mind going if lunch is provided, but I must be fed if I go.
Well, I am the most disinterested after all, for I never wear black gloves and I never eat lunch. But I'll go if you will.
Capital, it's agreed. But had he no friends at all?
You'll come to think of it, I'm not at all sure that I wasn't his most particular friend, for I recall he spoke to me. Once.
Good day, sir. I must be going along.
How are you?
How are you?
Well. Looks as if old Scratch got his own at last, eh?
Yes, so I've been told. Cold, isn't it?
Seasonable for Christmas time. Ooh. You're not a skater, I suppose.
No! Something else to think of. Good afternoon.
No. Good morning.
Spirit, I know those gentlemen. They were in my counting house this very afternoon. But who was the man who died? And what has he to do with me? A rag and bottle shop, Spirit?
That's a trouble alone to be the first!
And the laundress alone to be the second?
Joe, old Joe. Oh, where's he? Oh, it's the undertaker. Come in, come in. Well, it's all a London town has met here this night. I'm bound if it ain't.
Let the Undertaker's man alone to be the third!
Look, here's a chance, old Joe. If we all three ain't met here without meaning it.
Well, you couldn't be met in a better place. You all know the parlour well enough. Sit ye all together. Let's see what you brought me, eh?
What odds? What odds, Mrs. Dilber? Every person has a right to take care of himself. He always did.
True enough indeed, no man more so.
If he cared so much for these trifles, he should have been more human when he was alive, the wicked old screw. And then he'd have had somebody there when he was dying. Instead of lying there, all alone, gasping out his last.
It's the truest word I ever spoke. It's a judgment on him.
Oh, and it would have been a little heavier one, too. If and I could have laid me hands on anything else. Open me bundle, Joe. Let me know the value of it. I ain't afraid to go first.
Oh, saved by the bell. Now, let's see here. What's this? A watch fob? Ooh, a seal. Sleeve buttons. And a ring, eh? Gold. That makes it £1, 2 and 3. What? That's your account. And I wouldn't give you another 6p if I was to be boiled for it. Who's next?
Oh.
So I lost the first eye. All right, now let's see here. A sheet. A shirt. In fair condition. That says fire. Teaspoons. Ooh, sugar tongs. 1, 2, 3. 3 boots. What did you do with the other one?
I kept one for myself.
I'll give you 18 shillings for the lot.
What?
Now. I always gives too much to the, ladies. Sweetness of mine. The way I ruins myself.
18 shillings.
Ask for another penny and you'll knock off half a crown.
Knock off your
Oh, you keep coming in here. Talking on your own. I'll see you back down at Cranberry Station.
Undo my bundle, Joe.
Yes, my love. Right this way. Now, what do you call these here bed curtains?
I bed curtains.
Now, you don't mean to say you took them down with him still lying there?
I do, and why not? Careful with his blanket, Joe.
His blanket?
Whose else do you think? He's not likely to take cold without it.
I hope he didn't die of anything catchy.
You may look through this shirt till your eye aches, Joe. You'll find it was the best he had. Somebody would have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you mean, wasted it?
Well, they're putting it on him to be buried in. Somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it off again.
Right off the body?
Dead right.
She took it right off the... Dead! Dead right! Dead right! Posthumous!
It's a pun.
Well, that's the end of it. You see, he frightened everyone away from him when he were alive to profit us. When he was dead!
Spirit, I see. This might be my own fate. Oh, what a horrible thought. What a dreadful place, Spirit. May we leave it? I promise I shall not leave its lesson behind. Spirit, if there is anyone in this town who feels emotion for a death, let me see it, Spirit. I beg you, blot out the terrible things that we have just seen.
Did he give you more time to pay the debt? Is it good or bad?
Bad?
Then we are quite ruined.
No. There's still hope yet, Caroline.
If he relents, there is. Nothing is past hope if such a miracle happens.
Why, he's past relenting. He's dead.
Heaven forgive me, but I am happy.
What the old woman told me was quite true. Not only was he very ill, but dying then.
To whom will our debt be transferred?
I don't know. But we will never find such a merciless creditor in his successor. A Merry Christmas, my dear. Tonight, may we sleep with light hearts.
Light hearts. Spirit. Light hearts. Spirit. If there is anyone who feels compassion for a death, I beg you, Spirit, show me tenderness, compassion.
And he took a child and set him in the midst of them.
This colour hurts my eyes.
Spirit, where is the little boy with the crutch? Where is Tim? Where is Tiny Tim?
They are all better now. The candlelight makes them weak, and I would not show weak eyes to your father when he comes home for all the world. Must be near his time.
Past it, rather. But I think he's walked a little slower than he used to these past few evenings, Mother.
But I have known him to walk with Tiny Tim. With Tiny Tim upon his shoulders very fast indeed.
So have I. Often.
But he was so light to carry, and your father loves him so, that it was no trouble at all. Here's your father at the door.
Well, my dears.
Robert, how chill you are. Come by the hearth. Warm.
Your tea is ready, Father. That will warm you.
Thank you, my dear. Well, it looks as if you've all been very busy today.
Yes, indeed we have.
Yes, the tree is nearly as pleasant as the yew that will stand over Tim.
So you went there today then, Robert?
I did indeed, my dear. I wish you could have gone to the churchyard with me. Would have done your heart good to see how green a place it is, but you'll see it often. I promised him that we would walk there on a Sunday. My child, my little child.
Robert, dear Robert.
Don't mind it, Father. Don't be grieved.
Thank you, my dear. I'm all right now.
So, was it a good day for you then, Robert?
It was a very good day, my dear. And even better now that we're all together by the fire. By the by, Mr. Scrooge's nephew, Mr. Fred, was in today, as he always is at Christmas. I think he's the pleasantest spoken gentleman I have ever known.
He spoke to you then, Robert?
He did indeed, my dear. He seemed to notice first thing that I looked a little down, you know, so I told him. I told him what had happened. He said, I'm heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit, and heartily sorry for your good wife. But by the by, how he knew that, I'll never know.
Why, knew what, my dear?
Why, that you are a good wife.
Everyone knows that.
Very well observed, my boy. I should hope they do. Heartily sorry for your good wife. If I can be of service in any way, he said, giving me his card, pray come to me. It really seemed as if he had known our Tiny Tim and grieved with us.
I am sure he is a good soul.
You'd be sure of it if you saw and spoke to him. I shouldn't be at all surprised, Mark, would I say, if he got our Peter a better situation.
Oh, only hear that, Peter.
Then Peter will be keeping company with someone and setting up for himself.
Get along with you.
It's just as likely as not one of these days, though there's plenty of time for that. But however, and whenever we part from one another, we shall not forget this first parting, and shall not quarrel easily among ourselves, and forget poor Tiny Tim in doing it, shall we?
Never, Father, never.
Then I am happy, very happy indeed.
Spirit, little Tim, and dear, dear Bob, they loved each other so very much, Spirit. I have indeed seen compassion. May we leave, Spirit? Spirit, that pawn shop, and those dreadful people who robbed that poor man. It grieves me, Spirit, to think of him dying, all alone, with no one to feel sorrow or sympathy for him. Spirit, who was that man? What was his name? Where did he live? Graveyard, Spirit. But Bob Cratchit said that Tiny Tim's grave was green and lovely, and beneath a yew tree. Surely this cannot be that place. Why do you bring me here, Spirit? I see. I see. Spirit, before I draw near that stone, answer me one question. Are these shadows of things that will happen, or that may happen only? Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, but if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is so with what you show me, Spirit. But it's blank, Spirit. It's blank. It's blank. It's blank. Ebenezer Scrooge. Am I that man, Spirit? No. No, I am not the man I was. I will not be the man that I must have been. Spirit, why show me this if I am past all hope? Spirit, intercede for me. Tell me that I may change these shadows. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try and keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me, and I will not shut out the lessons they teach. Spirit, kind, loving, merciful Spirit, please tell me that I may sponge away the writing on this stone. Christmas in my heart and try and keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me, and I will not shut out the lessons. I will not. Why? It's my room. My own room. Oh. Oh, heaven and Christmas time be praised for this, Jacob. I say it on my knees, Jacob. Jacob Marley, I say it on my knees. Why? Oh, they're not torn down. They're here. They're here. Oh, I'm here. I'm here. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. Oh, hello. Happy New Year to everyone. And a Merry Christmas to the entire world! Whoop! Whoop! No, perhaps not. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. I don't know anything, do I? Oh. That's all right. I'd rather be a baby and start afresh. I'd rather be a baby. Oh, I don't know anything. I never did know anything. Oh, but now I know that I don't know. All on a winter's morning, yes. Yes. I don't know anything. I never did know anything. But now I know that I don't know. All on a winter's morning. Oh, hello. Hello there, boy.
Who? Me, sir?
Yes, sir. What's today?
Oh.
What's today, my fine fellow?
To die? Why, Christmas die?
Christmas die! Day. I haven't missed it after all. The spirits must have done it all in one night. They can do whatever they like, can't they? Of course they can. Oh, hello there, boy.
Hello.
Hello. Do you know the Poulterers? On the next street but one on the corner.
I say I do.
Oh, what a remarkable boy. An intelligent boy. Now, do you know if he still has the prize turkey hanging in the window? Not the little prize turkey, but the great big one!
What? The one as big as me?
A delightful boy! No, I think I'm going to like children after all. Yeah. Yes, my buck. That's the one.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Well, go and buy it.
Who, sir? Me, sir?
Yes, sir, you, sir. Go and buy it. Bring the man here, so I may tell him where to take it. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. No, Ebenezer, you can do better than that. Come back in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown.
Yes, sir!
Yes, sir! Oh, look at him go. Oh, I shall send it to Bob Cratchit. He won't know who sent it. What a capital surprise. It will be my very first Christmas present. Oh, capital. Oh, God bless you, Jacob Marley.
Good Christian men rejoice.
Good Christian men rejoice.
Good Christian men rejoice.
With heart and soul.
With heart and soul and voice. With heart and soul and voice. Giving heed to what we say. Jesus Christ is born today. Oaks and asp before him bow, and he is in the manger now.
Christ was born to save. Christ was born to save.
Now we need not fear the grave. Jesus Christ was born to save. Calls you one and calls you all to gain his everlasting home. Christ was born to save. 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 We'll sing in joy to the world. The Lord is come. Rejoice, it's Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Is that really?
Gentlemen! Oh, I do hope you were successful in what you were doing yesterday. It was very kind of you.
Mr. Scrooge, isn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid the name may not be very pleasant to you, but... Oh, please forgive me. And will you do me the small favor of accepting the sum of...
Dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
Yes, not a farthing less. There's a good many back payments included in that amount, I assure you.
Oh, my dear sir, I don't believe such generosity.
Well, don't say anything at all. Just come and visit me tomorrow, will you?
We will, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
In keeping with the occasion, sir. Merry Christmas.
And to you too, my dear.
May you be happy in the life you've chosen.
The life I've chosen.
Mr. Scrooge!
Well now, that is a bird. That turkey could never have stood upon its own 2 legs. It would have snapped them off short in a minute like 2 sticks of sealing wax. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, of course. Happily, I'll do that for you. Here's a half a crown. You were so fast.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, well, let me help you with it.
And a Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Wait, what?
Oh, please don't go, sir.
Oh, yes. Now, there you are, my good man. Now, you must take this to Bob Cratchit's house over in Camden Town.
Oh, another way, Gov.
No, you can't walk.
Oh, it's just right down the lane there.
You must have a cab.
Right.
Now,
Cab.
yes, take a cab. This is for the turkey.
Oh, right.
Yes, and here is for the cab ride there.
Cab.
And another one for the cab ride back.
Back?
Yes. And, here's a little something extra for you, my good man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Gov.
Say.
Yeah, what?
Don't I know you from somewhere?
No. I don't think so.
Oh, I do know him. I know them both. Capital. Fred! Oh, Merry Christmas, Fred. And to you too, my dear. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
We were just stopping by to invite you to Christmas dinner again. We'd hoped you'd changed your mind.
We were? Oh, yes, we were. Oh, do come along, Uncle. We would so love to have you.
I'd be delighted to come. If you'll let me in, Fred.
Let you in. I should say we will, Uncle.
Come along, Uncle. We shall be there in 5 minutes.
Oh, let's play some games. Only let's not play yes and no. I'm not very fond of that game.
Scrooge was early at the office the next morning. Oh, he was early there. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming in late. That was the thing he had set his heart upon.
Oh, yes, that's what I set my heart upon. Oh, I don't believe he's here yet. Oh, very good. Oh, Ebenezer, take deep breaths. Very. Oh, need to look busy so when he comes in, he shan't know that I've just been laughing. Oh, Mr. Cratchit, what is the meaning of coming in here this time of day?
I'm very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
Behind your time? I should say indeed you are, sir. Oh, well, Step right this way, Mr. Cratchit.
It's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Making rather merry, were you?
Making rather merry, sir.
He was making rather merry. I was there, I saw him. Don't tell. Well, Mr. Cratchit, I am not going to stand for this sort of thing 1 minute longer.
No, sir.
Step right this way, please.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, Mr. Cratchit, I am going to raise your salary!
No, please! Don't raise my salary! Raise my salary?
Oh, Merry Christmas, Bob. A happier Christmas than I've given you in many a year. Yes, I'm going to raise your salary, and I'm going to endeavor to assist you with your struggling family. Now, we shall discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a bowl of smoking bishops. In the meantime, Bob, I want you to stoke up that fire. It's freezing in here, man. Oh, and buy yourself another scuttle of coal before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit. Oh, Ebenezer.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Bob.
You said Merry Christmas!
I did say Merry Christmas.
Do it again!
Merry Christmas! Don't kick the bucket, Bob.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Well, oh no, perhaps not. I don't deserve to be this happy. The trouble is, I just can't help it.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other city, town, or borough in the good old world. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well. If any man alive possessed the knowledge, may that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us. God